I know it's very special that you to be here for this, and we really do appreciate you folks making the effort. I put some things together, kind of thinking about my dad and about Vaughn and a little bit about him, and if I can go through some of this with you, I appreciate that. What do you really say about someone that made such a significant impact on you and all the people that knew our dad, Vaughn G. Taylor Sr.? I believe the answer is clearly thank you, Dad, for all your direction to our family and for providing all your love and wonderful direction. From my perspective, I remember those early years when my dad would have to meet with the principal of the school because of my behavior and general lack of interest. I can assure everyone here today, both my parents did not accept my excuses. My dad would tell the principal, "Feel free to do whatever is needed to discipline my son. Then I too will also deal with it." Accepting responsibility, building character, instilling integrity were very important lessons both my dad and mom insisted on for all their children. I fondly remember going fishing in my dad's boat. I especially remember the time just after Dad got his new boat and we were on the Charles River when my dad was bragging to my mom since how well this boat could take the waves. That was important to Mom because she couldn't swim. Well, here comes the tour boat down the Charles River. My dad says, "Now watch what this boat can do." He increased the speed, went over the first large wave. However, the boat dived into the second wave and soaked my mother and the rest of us. Not one of my dad's finest boating moments. I can remember getting up early to go pheasant hunting. My dad loved to hunt. Hunting was one of his favorite things to do, or going to work at his bakery in the middle of the night to make some extra money. However, I learned real quickly the sacrifices and hard work my dad did to provide for our family. I also remember my dad sleeping in his chair after a tough night at work. My brother John and I decided to have some fun with some shaving cream. As our dad's hand laid open, we put some shaving cream in it and lightly touched his nose. Needless to say, when he went to scratch his nose, he was not amused getting shaving cream on his face. I thought John and I would never survive after that. Perhaps it's that type of humor that started John on the road to help make us all laugh and feel good. I also remember my sisters Martha and Susan bringing their boyfriends over to the house. My dad would decide to go clean his guns and shotguns in front of them. I think we all knew the message Dad was trying to deliver. My sister Martha reminded me about a time when she was learning to cook and bake. Knowing our dad was a baker, she wanted to impress Dad with a lemon meringue pie. She went to Eli's country store and brought the ingredients in a box and baked the pie. She said with a smile, "Dad, would you like a piece of my lemon meringue pie?" She said, "Dad, would you like a piece of the pie?" Dad, of course, could not disappoint Martha and had a piece. Martha remembers looking at my dad's face and a big smile as he was chewing and chewing and chewing on this pie. I guess her pie was like chewing rubber, Martha later said, but Dad never complained. Martha must have learned something from Dad because today she's an accomplished baker and cook. Way to go, Martha. As a family, we all grew up in Cambridge and Wilmington, Mass. Our dad was a master baker at Dorothy Muriel's and also worked at Sunray Bakery and the Choate Hospital. All those that knew my dad knew him as a very good family man and friend. Like me, my sisters Martha Preble, Susan Wass, and my brother John Taylor, and our families learned so many things from Dad. I asked Susan to tell me a story about an event with Dad that she remembered. She recalls my dad had a part-time job driving a newspaper delivery truck. He asked Susan to go with him one day to help throw out the newspapers out of the truck. He told her that he would buy her an ice cream for her help. Unfortunately, they missed the ice cream truck, so there was no ice cream for Susan that day. Many years had gone by and my sister was telling this story to my mother and my dad and how she did not get her ice cream. My mom said, "Vaughn, did you do that to Susan?" My mother then instructed my dad to go up to McDonald's to buy Susan an ice cream. While my dad, being an honorable father, did just that. Susan, was the ice cream good? When I think back of all the big family events, first communions, confirmations, graduations, and then marriages, Dad was always there. The parties and the cookouts that our dad and mom threw were literally legendary in our neighborhood. Many of our neighbors and friends also commented about how nice Dad's gardens were. They enjoyed watching Dad outside planting his flowers and vegetables in his garden or his buckets, wearing his famous cowboy hats. I guess Dad's love of gardening was learned at an early age from his mom, Dad, and his sister. Even today, my cousin Tommy Moore and his wife Donna, who are with us today from Mississippi, have some beautiful flower gardens that included plants from my Aunt Eva's garden. As a family, we always enjoyed the time with my dad's family and relatives we met at the Taylor family reunion in Tupelo, Mississippi, and then again later in Birmingham, Alabama. It provided us a great opportunity to meet some of Dad's family. It was easy to see why our dad was such a great person. He was loved and will be dearly missed by all his grandchildren, Kimberly Michaels, Lori Kemp, Rhonda Juziak, Kelly Given, Vaughn G. Taylor III, Jennifer Taylor, Kyle Taylor, and Shauna Wass, and his 6 great-grandchildren, Amber, Kenny, Kira, Alec, Christopher, and Bentley. It's hard not to forget the big smile on Dad's face when his grandkids visited him recently in the hospital. His love for his family and his friends will soon not be forgotten in this man's legacy. When spring comes around each year, it will be easy to remember Dad as we see the beautiful flowers blooming and new leaves on the trees. As everyone knew, Dad loved to garden. His flowers and vegetables were always great. As a man born and educated in Mississippi, he enlisted in the U.S. Navy and served our country as a naval hospital corpsman. As a hospital corpsman, he worked in a wide variety of capacities and locations aboard ships and shore establishments, including the Chelsea Naval Hospital, where he met the love of his life, my mother. For his dedicated service to his country and the U.S. Navy, it seems only fitting that he be honored today with a dignified final resting place to honor this veteran. The New Hampshire State Veterans Cemetery here in Boscawen conveys that peace through natural beauty and is a source of pride of veterans like Vaughn, and expresses the state of New Hampshire's gratitude for his service to our country. As my daughter Lori Kemp said, we lost a very special person, my pa. He was an amazing, loving, funny, cowboy hat wearing, boot kicking teddy bear. He will be remembered fondly, and we will continue to strive to make him proud. We love you, Pa, and may you rest in peace. Yes, our dad will be dearly missed. We thank him for all he provided to us since we were born. As one of his sons, I appreciate all the knowledge, direction, love, and sharing of his good name, as does my son, Vaughn III. He can be very proud of all his many accomplishments in life. His dedication to my mother, Martha, for over 62 years is both remarkable and commendable. We would also like to acknowledge the special care and dedication our mom provided to Dad over the years. Mom, you can be very proud of all your special efforts in making Dad's life as pleasant as possible, despite all his medical conditions. There is no doubt that all your special care and love was instrumental in adding many extra years of joy to his life. Dad often mentioned to us that he was so lucky to have such a wonderful, dedicated wife as you. Dad, we all know you are in a better place now with your family and friends that have gone before you, and that we will again have the opportunity to be with each other again. May the good Lord continue to bestow his love on you throughout eternity. Thanks again, Dad, for your wonderful contributions and love to your family and friends. We will all miss you dearly. Thank you.